Since progression in this game is not linear and allows you to choose your own path, it's difficult to pick one category where all of the upgrades will coalesce into one cohesive unit. So in this episode, we're going to be unlocking three kind of dissimilar things: the gas mask, the alternative fluid transport, and the jetpack. Unlocking the gas mask will be easy because all we need is rubber, plastic, and fabric, things that I have in abundance. Alright, let's see how expensive this gas mask is. Here's the gas mask in the equipment workshop, and it requires a lot of fabric. I was not expecting fabric to be so critical, but maybe it isn't because we're just making a single item right here. Now, the gas filters are actually pretty cheap, and we can make a ton of them. And I don't know if we need to because I don't know how long they're going to last, so I'm just going to go ahead and make about 10 of them, and hopefully that works out for now. This is definitely what we are supposed to be exploring with the gas mask. If I head inside, you can see that I take damage pretty rapidly. Maybe not as bad as carrying some uranium in your pockets, but neither of these is advised. So we're going to go ahead and equip the gas mask. We're going to see if we have a filter attached. I have no idea if it's working or not, but I'm going to head into the gas and see that it is. Okay, so we've got the filter going. Everything looks to be operating just fine. I'm wondering what we're supposed to be exploring in here. It looks like the pale berries actually seem to enjoy this very toxic environment because we've got two plants growing here. And it looks like the gas mask is actually holding on pretty well. Now, I don't know what some of these vines are. They don't look like anything I've seen anywhere else, but maybe just because of the color that we're getting while we're in here. And I'm not really seeing much in terms of interesting stuff to explore. But these things are what appear to be producing all of the poisonous gas. So I'm going to equip my detonator and grab some of the dynamite to see if we can blow some of these up and maybe take out the gas in the area. So fire in the hole. Alright, let's try a little bit more dynamite on this one and see if we can get a different result. So take two. Nope. There appears to be something up top there, and I don't know what it is. It looks kind of like one of these poison towers, but I gotta be sure, so I'm going to take a closer look by building a little stairway here. And I always kind of feel bad about doing this because we're just building something random in the environment. I do take them down, although I guess that's not any different than what we're doing anywhere else with like our larger factories, because at least in this case we're not completely destroying and extracting all the resources. Well, not really destroying, I guess just converting the resources into things that the environment may not want, like gas masks. So it looks kind of like an animal, actually. Is there anything else up here? Nope, just these guys. So let's try some dynamite on this one. Maybe it is like the leader of all the other ones. So nope, those are here to stay. So I guess this giant gas thing is just going to hang out here until I find out if there's some way to take these out. The next tier to unlock is the alternative fluid transport, and this requires 25 of the heavy modular frames, a very advanced material. But luckily, the Factory 2.0 has been up and running for a little while, so it seems to have accumulated a fair amount that we can use. After grabbing a couple more things, I think that is all that we need for the alternative fluid transport tier. At the refinery Mark 1/prototype, whatever you want to call it, I just mentioned that because it's really ugly. I want to try and let myself off the hook. We're going to experiment with the packaged fluids. Now to do that, or to make them, we're going to need the refinery, which is a shame because it's a gigantic machine and it is quite expensive as well. So if we look at some of the recipes in here, you can see that the packaged stuff includes water, oil, fuel, heavy oil residue, and then liquid biofuel. Now the ones that we could possibly take advantage of are the water, the oil, and the heavy oil residue. And I guess we could also figure out how to produce some fuel, which might be helpful because we're going to have that jetpack soon. I figured that instead of a whole new line of refineries, we could just convert one of the already existing ones. Then it'll be less of a drain on our power here. You can see the one on the left is producing some rubber with the heavy oil residue as a byproduct, and the one on the right, or really the one in the middle, is producing plastic with the heavy oil residue as a byproduct. And I want to leave at least one of those running because we need that heavy oil residue to be producing the petroleum coke, which is fueling the coal generators. Yeah, things are that complicated. So we're going to have to disconnect this one from the existing network. Let's check this out and switch this over to be producing the fuel that we need. Now this is going to be producing the byproduct of the polymer resin as well. So we're going to need a new refinery here as well, and that's going to be kind of our packaging system. So let's go ahead and connect this guy up so it can receive the fuel that this guy will be producing. And then we're going to have to plug this guy in as well. Now this is a little bit of a concern because I'm not sure how the power grid's doing here. And uh-oh, it looks like we forgot to flush this out. So let's go ahead, do a full pipe network flush, and hopefully it will be filling. Yes, that is the color of the fuel, that orange color. So this guy is ready to go. Let's make sure that it is producing the packaged fuel. And oh no, we need the empty canisters. I did not make those, did I? Thankfully, everything we need to produce the empty canisters is right here. All that we need to do is place a single constructor, which is going to be converting the plastic, which we're already making in one of those refineries, into the empty canisters. So we can go ahead and hook that up. We're also going to need to attach this up to the power. And luckily, there is an empty line right here. So let's go ahead and attach this guy up to the new packaging refinery. And then we should be good to go. So we got the fuel coming in. Hopefully soon we're going to have the empty canisters coming in, and then that should be the end of it. We've got the empty canisters coming, we've got the fuel coming in, so let's check out the refinery. It looks like it's producing plenty of these packaged fuel canisters. Let's go ahead and check out the output side. We can attach this up to a storage container just to let that run for a while. And you can see them come. All right, we've got the orange, so we know for sure that's fuel, and hopefully we'll be able to grab a few of these, bring them back to the base, and have them ready for the jetpack, or to fuel our vehicles, or really anything else. The final thing to unlock today is the jetpack, and this one's going to be a little bit more tricky because it's going to be requiring the computers, which are one of the more advanced materials. You can see requiring 4 inputs. So I could produce those 25 computers by hand, but that's what we have machines for. So I'm going to place a temporary manufacturer here where we can just load in the inputs and then wait a while for it to produce some of those computers on its own. Whew, I have just enough computers to finally get ready to launch the pod and unlock the jetpack. Luckily, I don't need any more computers to construct the jetpack, which is great. Those computers are incredibly expensive. They put those heavy modular frames to shame in terms of overall complexity and requirements for completion. But we now have the jetpack, and I am super ready. Oh, let's go. Okay, so I've got my fuel ready. I've got this whole stack of packaged fuel, and let's see how this goes. Oh, yeah. Well, it actually, hold on. I'm going to run out of one piece of fuel here. Oh, okay, we need to hit the ground in order to kind of refill it with one of the fuel canisters, which is not a problem. I guess that just means we can't kind of fly up indefinitely, which isn't a huge problem. But one of the things I am actually curious about is if this can actually function as a parachute, because I was using those parachutes way too much, just kind of on accident, because they would activate every time you hit jump while you're in the air. So I know that this fall will hurt me, so I'm going to jump off here a little bit. Oh, perfect. Excellent. Whew. Wait a second. Was that a hole? I'm not sure how fuel is managed, because it does kind of refill, but once we touch the ground with just a little bit used, it doesn't take another can. I don't know. But this is a really cool upgrade. It's going to really, really help, because there are some heights that I'm trying to get up to, like, I don't know, like see what's happening on a base I'm constructing, or just get a new vantage point, try and move some conveyor belts. If I don't have any sort of ladders constructed, it can be a pain in the butt. Or even like if I want to get up to that second floor, normally I would have to go walk all the way to the stairs or to that launch pad, and I guess now I can just use the jetpack. So it's pretty awesome. I like this thing a lot. I'm really happy that it's going to replace the parachutes, and the packaged fuel, not that expensive. And we'll probably be making a whole lot more of the packaged fuel once we actually, hold on, I'm going to see. If I get too high, I got to make sure I have a little bit left to smooth the landing, because I guess it is possible that I just expend too much of the jetpack fuel and get myself to a height where I'm going to hurt myself significantly. So let's kind of see what happens close to my base. Yep, okay, got to watch out for that. So we've got the new jetpack's going to actually help out with factory construction, which is pretty wild. But also with exploring, getting away from bad guys, and just having a good time. So thanks for watching this one. We got a lot of new stuff and more cool stuff to come. See you guys in the next episode.